I'm here today with 5 psychological tips for you on starting a business. In all of the coaching I've done with entrepreneurs, I think the first thing that is important to get clear about is why. Why are you doing this? Now, a lot of people start a business to make some money. Totally legitimate reason to start a business. I don't know that that's a strong enough why. You've probably heard the statistics that like 1 out of every 2 new startup businesses fail within the first few months. Why is this? Well, because maybe they don't have a strong enough why. There's a lot of ways to make money. If you get clear about your why, it's going to give you the energy that you need to do all of the hard hows. You've got to have a strong enough why. So search your heart and mind for that a little bit. In fact, here's a question for you. What would you give your life for? What would you give your life for? Now, does that sound dramatic? Because that's exactly what you're doing. If you choose to spend your time and your energy and your money on this, you're giving your life to this cause. So give it enough thought to get clear about your why. Second tip, get clear about your who. If you're like me, you want to help everybody, right? And I've been trapped there so many times. Here's the problem. If you want to help everybody, you're not really helping anybody. It's hard to develop marketing messages for everyone. So you get clear about your who. There's a book called Tribes by Seth Godin. He nailed it. He identified that each one of us is the leader of a tribe. You might not even know who your tribe is yet, and they might not know who you are yet, but what you have to bring to the table is for them, and if you don't show up, they don't get it. Think about this tribe that you've got out there who is waiting for you to deliver your message, your product, your service, whatever it is your business delivers. They need to get it from you because you are, in fact, the chief of their tribe. That makes you feel kind of important, doesn't it? And it is important to figure out who you serve with your business. That's the second tip. Tip number 3, get clear about what. What you deliver. What's your product? What's your service? This becomes a little more clear when you figure out who the who is and what your why is. The what is the answer to an unresolved problem that the who has. Did you follow all of that? There are unresolved problems that your tribe is experiencing right now. What you deliver to them answers that problem. And hopefully it answers it for them in a way that is so compelling. And this product or service answers their unresolved problem in a way that is so compelling that it practically sells itself. That's what we're shooting for. The what has to answer an unresolved problem. Otherwise, it's not really a legitimate business venture. I think the only reason business exists is to answer the unresolved problems that people are having. Which people? Your tribe. The fourth tip today is to get clear about the when. Is this the right time for you? And it isn't always. There are seasons and there are reasons. Let me tell you what I mean. Seasons happen in your life. For example, you might have young children at home. All right, that's a season. That's a little different from mine. Vicki and I have grown children now. All of the little ones in our family are grandkids. And guess what? They don't live here. So the seasons of your life will sometimes determine what you're going to do in terms of a business venture or anything else that you're going to spend your time and money and energy on. The seasons have to be acknowledged and respected because this may not be the right season for you. Now let's talk about reasons. I picked the word reasons because it rhymes with seasons. But reasons sometimes become excuses. And your mind can come up with a half dozen reasons why you shouldn't do this. Have you noticed? Oh, the thing that's hard about that is, well, the problem would be, well, here's why I can't. Do you see all the reasons that can come up? All you need is one good why. That's why we hit that one first. The reasons can't become excuses. We simply handle the considerations. If it's the right season for you, then address the reasons, handle the considerations, and let's make this happen. Get clear about your when. There's a lot more topics related to starting a business. I want to get to the final one for today's video. Number 5 was inspired by Rich Christensen in his book, The Zigzag Principle. Now let me put a little context around that. When you're climbing to the summit of a mountain, you don't go straight to the summit. That would be far too difficult, sometimes way too dangerous. What you do is you go this way for a while, and then you turn around and then you go this way for a while. It's called a switchback. And you'll switch back from this side to that side, zigzag, zigzag, all the way up the face of that mountain until you get to the summit. And there are times when you're going a totally different direction. Well, it doesn't mean you're off track. It means that you got to take a little zig in order to zag later on and finally get to where you're going. Keep that in perspective as you're looking at your journey in starting a new business. And here's another tip that Rich shared with me, and the one that I want to end with today. Put up guardrails. Think about when you're driving up a steep mountain course. And there are guardrails along the edge of the road that keep you from plummeting off of the cliff, right? In case something goes wrong, that guardrail catches you and it keeps you safe. You need to have some of these when you're starting a business. The guardrails might be time guardrails. They might be money guardrails. How much risk can you afford to put into this business? And so you might say, you know what? I'm going to spend up to 3 months and $3,000 to try this idea. Now, I just pulled those numbers completely out of the air. Whatever your guardrails are will reflect your tolerance for risk. Put the guardrail in place, because sometimes you can get into it and you don't know how long it's going to take before you get a return. Well, if you can get to a certain point in 3 months and convince yourself that, yes, this is a legitimate venture, that's going to help keep you safer than if you don't have the guardrails in place. Time guardrails, money guardrails. There are a lot of clarities that you need to get clear in your mind in order to start a business. Hopefully this has helped you to hone in on some of the top ones. As you can probably tell from this particular video, I am an entrepreneur, and I do a lot of coaching of entrepreneurs. Sometimes coaching is a really helpful thing to get, and if I can help you with that, I would be happy to. Come on over to drpauljenkins.com, my website, where you'll be able to connect to coaching and other services that can support you in your journey.
Face locked onto the phone, and I wished I